Not only do we have a complete rebrand of the entire Keystone brand in general, but this here is the Montana High Country, and we got a brand new floor plan from Montana High Country with this really interesting rear kitchen design. Kind of has a U-shaped kitchen with the stove on the back wall, tons of countertop space. So curious what you think. Let's go take a look. Come on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here taking a look at this 2026 Keystone Montana High Country. This is the 325 RK. So you'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen. Couple highlight points on this is obviously the interior kitchen space. You also get an outdoor kitchen here as well on a couples style fifth wheel RV. A lot of times with fifth wheels especially, most of your models that come with a really good outdoor kitchen are going to be the bunk models. But this here is a couple style coach that has the outdoor kitchen that is a really nice outdoor kitchen and entertainment area. Great looking front cap. You can see you have the LED light strips around here that do have that diffuser kind of beam look to them. And then we have a new MORryde pin box on here. This is not what they were coming with historically, but now we have this MORryde pin box here. So a really high grade standard pin box that you're getting here. And then along this side, a couple things I just want to point out that I've noticed that are really unique and special to this. They have this new power watchdog power inlet here, and you can see you have this legend up in this space that kind of tells you what's going on with your power coming into the RV based on what we see with the light configuration here. So that is really neat. That's something that I just feel like would be nice to see standardized across the RV industry. Is just a good kind of, safety measure with power going into the RV. But that is something that we're seeing on some of the different Keystone lines, including this Montana High Country. Now, in terms of the rebrand that we've seen from Keystone, this is the new Keystone logo here, this kind of trapezoid thing. I did learn that that actually comes from like a, construction practice where that trapezoid style design there is what is used as like a structural element in construction. I don't know too much about construction, but apparently that's a really important like structural aspect to construction pieces. So that's kind of where that design comes from. And then in terms of just like the text font, you can see the Keystone banner here. This is at a Keystone facility where I'm filming this RV. That it has kind of like a Yellowstone vibe to me in terms of what we're seeing from the Keystone branding. Now this particular model here that we're taking a look at doesn't really fall into that quite as much because this is a very modern looking fifth wheel RV. This is a full body paint scheme on this Montana High Country. So really nice look. You have kind of a chrome finish to the Montana logos that are put on here. And they do have kind of like a 3D bubbling effect on that. So really nice there. And then again, full body paint on this, but standard on the Montana High Country will not be full body paint. Now, if you don't understand the hierarchy of models within Keystone, the Montana High Country is actually the little brother to the full size Montana. So we'll be taking a look at this one here as well. This is the little brother to that. And with this being the little brother to the Montana, it's going to come a little bit stripped down. There's like a $20,000, $30,000 price difference a lot of times between a High Country and a full-size Montana. So a much more affordable option here with the High Country, but still with it being kind of like, it's a full-size fifth wheel RV at a much more modest price point than your luxury full-size fifth wheel RVs. And with it having a full body paint option still kind of keeps it in that, higher end spectrum. But you have the drop frame down underneath here, which gives you the huge storage space. And then last thing we'll take a look at outside before we head inside is your outdoor entertainment area. We have a TV out here. This is a smart TV there, and it's a 1080p television. We have the griddle cooktop here, which a lot of times this might be a two-hand operation to get this out. Looks like it is. Okay, there we go. So you have this griddle cooktop here, and it will extend out even further. In fact, it will drop down. Let's see. So I got to keep using two hands to get this down. Oh, man. It's so hard to do this holding the camera. Let's just go ahead and put y'all right here and see what we got going on here. How do we break this free? I do see like a latch back here. First time playing with this, obviously. Come on, baby. I see that you want to break free, but what's holding you up? What is the holdup? There's like a red latch back behind here, but I can't tell what I'm supposed to do with it. It looks like it's something that I'm supposed to be using for something. Huh. Well, I don't want to sit here and mess with it too long. But this will drop down, because basically right now it's sitting up kind of high, but it will drop down to a lower height for you. You can see there's struts here that kind of help with that lifting and dropping down, but there's a red latch there. I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to configure that latch to get this to drop, but nonetheless it will drop. That's just my first time seeing it, so I haven't played with it much, and I'm not going to take too long to sit here and figure it out. But really nice, that's underneath the awning here and underneath this big baggage door. So you can see nice thick baggage door that you have there, and it is strut assisted to hold that up. Now, as we step inside, this is certainly a fifth wheel RV suited for like a 3/4 ton truck at least, so something like a 2500 or 250. It is 37 feet 7 inches and is 12,220 pounds with a 3,705 pound cargo carrying capacity. It does not have a shade already installed on the window, so that's something if you wanted to get installed, you would have to purchase additionally. Then it has a light here over the entry door. Now, as we step inside, very, very like bright color aesthetic in here. I mean, with the grays, contrast with the darker deep brown, certainly more of a modern look in here. Curious what you guys think about the overall aesthetic. 50-inch screen TV directly across from your theater seating. And then we'll start in the back and work our way forward, because this kitchen is definitely the highlight of this fifth wheel RV. I mean, huge U-shaped kitchen, solid surface countertops. One thing I did notice right away is like pretty sharp corners on the countertops. Kind of surprised to see them do that, because in the full Montana line, they have like a bevel style countertop there, and this one here a little bit more sharp on the corners there. So watch your hips as you're walking by. You have the really nice looking 3-burner stove here along the back wall with a kind of interesting design on the range hood. So down underneath here, it does have the vent fan and then storage up under this space that's strut assisted. You also have a bigger vent fan here over your stove as well to help with not setting off your smoke detector while you are cooking. Got your pantry storage here, all solid wood cabinet doors, so they are a solid stained wood on all of those. And no soft close on the cabinet doors. The drawers will be soft close though. And you can see you have storage on both sides of your range hood. Everything is symmetrical in this space, so it looks really nice. Outlets on both sides. Have a little knife rack there with some hooks. And then you got some storage space down over here on both sides with some shelved out storage. Has a bigger than normal, but not the biggest possible oven. So still really good size on that though. And then you have the drawer up underneath. Then you have a 3-burner cooktop, big window along the back wall with the blinds on there that are fireproof. And as we turn this way, we have your refrigerator and freezer. So it is a Furrion refrigerator and freezer. And let's go ahead and twist this off. This is your little safety piece to keep these doors closed while you're going down the road. So we twist these off here and open this up. You can see you have your freezer portion on the left, refrigerator on the right. Oh my goodness, refrigerator side is a little bit bigger than the freezer portion. Close that up. Countertop space all along this side, just so much countertop space to work with. Standard residential size microwave. Got your storage space through here that's just open, so no shelving in there. Got our drawers here, so it has a solid wood drawer construction with staples there. Have a little piece of plywood here that the drawer face is attached into. And again, these are soft close drawers. All open storage underneath here. Good spot where you could put some heavier items there with that floor to support that. And then down through here, you can see like on these ones here, you have this base there. That's actually pretty solid too. That seems like that could support a good amount of weight. So that's better than I was expecting. Got your drawers here. Good storage all throughout this kitchen. And then this looks like this is all just open storage space with a spot for your trash can under here. And individual shutoff valves on the water lines down underneath there as well. So very nice. Have your stainless steel sink here in the kitchen. Retractable faucet, pretty standard looking faucet setup. So just tons and tons of countertop space. You got your light fixture up over the top of this area. Then we have our dining table here in the slide out. So they still gave you everything as far as your seating arrangement goes in this model, even though it's only 37.5 feet or so. And so you get your dining table, has wooden chairs here in this area, plenty of space for this table, and it does have the leaf that extends out here. Down underneath here, this is a legless dining table, so no legs to worry about hitting your feet or legs on, and it is secured to the sidewall. So if you did want to take this out and put something else in this area, very easy to do so. Pull down blackout shades on your windows, wood framed windows as well, so you can see the wood framing along the sides. Let's get this to stop there. And then we have our entertainment area. We have more storage back behind here. Surprised because we have the outdoor kitchen behind the space, how much storage they still worked into this area here. So really deep storage all throughout this, you know, kind of hidden pantry right there. And then we have some shallow storage up here, 50-inch screen TV, JBL sound system, and your electric fireplace. A nice electric heat source for you in this Montana fifth wheel. Sit down here, we have our recliners directly across from the TV, great viewing position and pretty close to the TV relatively. So because it's like sitting further out in the slide out box, you definitely feel pretty close to that TV there, which is nice. Ceiling fan here in the ceiling, love that. Have a vent fan here, and it is prepped to add a third AC if you wanted to add a third air conditioner. I don't believe the High Country's had that in the past. So that's nice that they have the option to add that third AC. Your AC over here, your 15,000 BTU Coleman Mach AC has a residential air filter in it. So that is really nice. You get a actual residential grade air filtration system, which hardly any other RVs have right now. With your recliners, they are power recliners here. They're a little bit more on the firm side, which I like. It definitely adds a little bit more support on those recliners there. And then you have your sofa here. This will pull out and make into about a full-size bed, so it will not be a big bed by any means, but it will have the ability to make into a bed. Dimmer light switches here, so you can see your lights will dim in the slide out. Outlet on this side, and then we have USB ports there, and then storage up over the top of your sofa. Manual switches for all your controls on this fifth wheel RV, your slide outs, your awnings. Has 12-volt heat pads on the water tank, so nice touch there. You also have power for your inverter inside, so you don't have to go outside to do that. Now, one thing I do notice on this floor plan is with your slides closed, you are going to have access to this refrigerator restricted. You can see that countertop's going to block it, plus your ability to get back to this kitchen space will all be blocked, as this is all going to slide over the top of this countertop here, and you'll have this slide out closing in right here. So that is something to keep in mind if road access to the refrigerator is very important with you, without you having to move any slide outs. Oh, and I keep almost forgetting. I keep walking by the spot that I keep forgetting to look at. Down underneath here, we have our little pet bowl area there. So nice little touch with that. Plus we have LED lights under that space. Come up here into the bathroom, and we have a pretty standard bathroom, although one thing that's interesting, it does have a traditional framed out door here, so good privacy on this door. The only interesting thing about this is so many other brands will do a sliding door, because when you walk in, you can see you kind of have to get out of the way of the door to close it and then get to the toilet. So it does make the space feel a little bit more restricted when you're going in and out, but it does offer a lot more privacy, which is nice. Molded fiberglass one-piece shower, has a more upgraded Oxygenics shower head there. And then we have the skylight up over top. Plus we have the seat in the molded fiberglass shower. And as I step into this shower, ceiling height in here is just fine. With that skylight, you could be about 6'5", maybe 6'6", before you're gonna have to duck. And then you also have the seat where you can sit down if you are taller. Although it does have this big shelf right here for your soaps, which kind of, you know, digs into your arm when you are sitting in the seat. So it's a decent shower, maybe not the best ever, but it's not bad either. Back through here, we do have a wrapped countertop material in the bathroom, plastic sink, got your medicine cabinet here. And then we have liquefied. This is a black tank treatment for your RV that you can find at Blue Compass stores across the country. So this will liquefy everything that goes into your toilet in black tank. You have it in the pod formula, liquid formula, or powder formula. And you can find that at Blue Compass stores across the country, as well as Walmart and Amazon. Down through here, got our storage space. Again, you can see the individual shutoff valves, and we have our 4 drawers for storage. Got some deeper storage right here, all through this area. And then a little cubby area down underneath there. And it is a porcelain foot flush toilet and a tankless on-demand water heater. Going into the bedroom, have a king-size bed here in the bedroom. Second air conditioner here in the bedroom as well. They're both ducted together. Decent amount of space to walk around the bed. Decent amount of space over here. Got your shelves in the corners. They are up over the windows. Even wood-framed windows here in the bedroom. Outlets where both of the shelves are. And then the corner over here does have USB ports right there. Not on the other corner though. Now as we turn around this way, also worth noting, they have like a flat flush slide out fascia, so no blocks or anything on that, no staple holes or nail holes or anything on these, so it looks pretty dang good. Turn around this way, it does have a spot for a TV on the wall. Have your 6 drawers right here, outlet there. And then we have prep for washer and dryer here in this portion of the closet, so you can get your prep in there for the washer and dryer units and install those there. And then we have your closet, a little bit of shelving space there, some shelves here, clothing rod across there, and the shelf up over the top with your automatic lights that turn on when you open the door. So not bad. It's a little basic feeling inside. Definitely feels like it needs the owner to come in and add some things to this unit to make it feel like home to me. So keep in mind, this thing will feel different once you get inside of it and you start to add your own decor, start to add your own decorations, things like that. You're kind of getting a pretty blank, fresh palette here to start working with as the owner. But really, really expansive countertop space. Curious your thoughts on what you think about all this. And as we step outside, couple other things to talk about. You have a central vac system right there. It does have a strut assisted entry step. So that is basically weightless for you right there. This one has a 440 watt solar system equipped on it, but you have various different solar packages available from Keystone RV, from 220 watts of solar up to 660 watts of solar. Some of their higher end luxury lines will even have 1200 watt packages available. So lots of different options there, but you'll most often see it with a 220 or a 440 watt system. Comes with a nice entry rug right there. That looks nice. Absolutely massive storage space through here. Aluminum framing, welds on both sides of all your aluminum frame connections, and you have a black wrapped subfloor down underneath there. You can see your drop frame here. It's also prepped to add another inverter that can run the air conditioner. So if you did want to get a solar setup to run the AC, it is already prepped for all the wiring to be able to do that, because it will require another inverter. 2 awnings, awning over that outdoor kitchen again. You have your ladder to get up onto the roof. Towing hitch off the back, rated for 3,000 pounds. And then as we step up this way, prep to add a backup camera. Let's climb up here real fast. See the roof. Got your 2 ACs up here, 440 watts of solar. Has your digital Winegard antenna. And then the seals all look pretty good. But keep in mind, when owning an RV, whether it's new or used, from day one, you should be checking the seals on your roof to make sure that everything is good and intact. I know we all just want our RVs to be perfect from day one when we go to purchase them, or even if we're buying a used one or whatever it may be. But the only way that I can ensure that your roof is not going to leak is if you come up here and check these things yourself, because they are all applied by human hands. And stuff like that. So it's just so important to be a responsible and proactive RV owner if you want your RV to have longevity and not leak. That is completely and totally within your own control to prevent leaks from happening on your RV, but it does require inspecting the roof. And I know, like with my RV, just to give you some perspective, when I'm living in my RV, I check my roof at least once a month. And then when I'm not living in my RV, I check my roof every time I take a trip. So I'm always up there, always checking it. There's always little bubbles that are popping up. There's always like a new area, I feel like, where something is, you know, looking like it's getting on the verge of potentially being able to, like, you know, allow water in. And then I just correct those things and I fix them and we're good. And nothing has ever happened on my RV, and no leaks have occurred or anything like that. So leaks are fully preventable, but it requires checking your seals up on the roof. Same with your seals around all your windows, your slide out seals. Like, you got to be checking and inspecting these things often and from day one, because nobody's going to care about your RV more than you do. And the more responsible and the more proactive you are with being, you know, checking on these things, the better experience you're going to have with your RV, which is all I really care about for you guys, is you guys having a good experience. Great tank dump valve right here for your kitchen sink. And then we have a through frame rack and pinion style slide out. Come this way, tankless on-demand water heater. And one of my favorite new features is we have this Power Watchdog power inlet here. So it has these 4 different lights, and then we have a legend right there that is kind of indicating what is going on with your power coming into the RV based on the different light colors. So really like seeing that. That is really neat. And Keystone is the first brand I'm seeing that installed on. We have our other black and gray tank dump valves here, although the valves themselves are up in the underbelly, so that makes this more of a true Four Seasons style coach where water won't be able to get to this exposed area unless you open the valves. So all that water will be, warm and stay warm when it's colder outside so it doesn't freeze. Got your storage space through here, 2 30-pound propane bottles. And then up front, you got your spot for your batteries here and a little bit more storage. And that is just about everything. So if you're looking for your next fifth wheel RV, and 4-point electric auto leveling. If you're looking for your next fifth wheel RV or just any type of RV in general, there's a link down below in the pinned comment of this video, as well as in the description, where you can find a Blue Compass RV dealership close to you, as Blue Compass has over 100 different stores in 33 different states. So we're all over the map to help you out with finding your next RV. And then price on this, let me find that for you real quick, and then we'll get you on your way. Something like this here, likely gonna fall in that $80,000 to $90,000 price range. So pretty dang competitive. For the size especially, I think a lot of like the luxury fifth wheel RVs that you'll see in this space in this size are typically around that $100,000 to $120,000 price range, depending on the brand. So this gives you a much more accessible price range for a higher end fifth wheel RV like this. Curious what you thought are, oh my goodness, why can I just not speak? I keep on like thinking one thing in my head and then something else is coming out of my mouth and then it just throws me off. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on this fifth wheel RV, the floor plan layout and everything that we're seeing here. And that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.